Hello everyone, so today is our flipped classroom for world history, and I wanted to show you how you are going to complete this assignment today. So yesterday we talked about why we became civilizations or complex societies, and we looked at the different characteristics of a society. Now today you'll be examining a society, an early civilization from our map. So here's what you're going to find in Edmodo. The first thing is your chart. There is a Word version of it, and there's also a PDF version of it. So you can choose to either type on it, or you can print it and put it in your notebook. I would suggest if you choose to type it, that you still print it and put it in your notebook. Now it says on here that you watch this video, which you are, and you'll complete the chart below by answering some of the questions. You'll also be using this chart in class next week as we look at other civilizations, which is why there's these extra boxes here. Today you are just focusing on ancient Egypt. So I've given you a link to find some of this information. So let's take a look at what you'll be looking for. The first one says complex technology. What did they create or invent? Now, technology to us is things like computers, but to them it could be examples such as weapons. It could be a new way of doing something. So think about, what did they create or invent? The second one is writing and record keeping. Did they have a written language, and how did they use it? If you want to give an example of their writing, especially for ancient Egypt, we're going to look at different ways that they were able to write. Think of this page as a notes page. You can add as much as you like. If you find something that really stands out to you and you want to add it, please do so. If you feel like you need more room and you have a Word document open, you can also add extra space. Number 3 says central government and laws. Describe the government and any laws that are mentioned. So think about, did they have a central government? Were there any laws that are mentioned in our research? Number 4 says cities. Did major cities exist? Can you find an example? Number 5, organized religion. Describe any religious beliefs or practices. Specialized jobs. Did the people divide the labor? Provide examples of any specialty jobs. And number 7 is social classes. Give any examples of social classes that you find. Now I know you're sitting there saying, how am I going to find this information? So let me show you the website that we'll be using today to find information about ancient Egypt. Some boxes may have more information than others, and that's okay. Again, this is a notes page for you that we'll be using to compare ancient Egypt to other early civilizations. So let's take a look at that website. So I've given you the direct link to the page about ancient Egypt. Now there are other pages, so I'm going to show you how to find that. But if you start reading through ancient Egypt, let's take a look here. Some of the things we're looking for as we fill out our chart are information such as, did they have a writing? Did they use technology? Now I see things about hieroglyphics, pyramids, mummies. Okay, so we know that we're going to find some aspects of ancient civilization. As you start to scroll through here, let's take it one piece at a time. So let's start with complex technology. What did they create or invent? We'll do this one together. So about 3000 BC shows us a map of what ancient Egypt looked like. This would be a great map to use to find some of those cities, hint hint, and write them down. We know that it's along the Nile River. We're going to keep going through here. I'm looking for things about technology. Land for farming. Okay, so just some background information. A great society emerged. Here's that part about The road to civilization required more organization and increased efficiency. Farmers began producing surplus crops that allowed others not only to concentrate on farming, but also to pursue other trades, such as mercantilism or skilled craft work. Ooh, that would be a great one to write down for specialty jobs. Egyptian artists created copper tools such as chisels and needles, all new inventions, which allowed them to fabricate ornamental jewelry. So it says those are new inventions, so we can add them to our list. They created, they said copper tools, and they said they were chisels and, head back here, chisels and needles. Well, that would explain why they had all that elaborate jewelry. Chisels and needles. As I scroll down here, it says they also discovered how to make bronze by mixing copper and tin, which marks the beginning of the Bronze Era. That's an important invention. So they invented bronze. Evidence suggests that ancient Egyptians invented the potter's wheel. This tool made it easier to create pots and jars for storage, cooking, religious needs, and decoration. That's also an important invention, so we can write down potter's wheel. Now here we start to talk about the pharaohs who ruled Egypt. This would be a great spot to look for information about the government. So I'm using clues as I'm going through this research to help me figure out which one is going to fit. So in the beginning here, looking at the map, that would be great to help me with the cities. As we came down here, we were talking about their inventions. I knew that because of some of the pictures that were here. I also was reading through about the artisans. That can also help us with the different jobs that they had. Those would be great examples. Artisans. Mercantilism might be a word that you look up if you're not sure. Skilled craft work. Now we know that pharaohs, if you have any background information about Egypt, pharaohs were those who were ruling Egypt, so we know that this will be a great clue about the government of Egypt. We've got a little timeline of Egypt here for more information. Looks like there's also some information in here about religion. I see looking at supporting worship of one God, and they tell you who the God is. So that could be some information about their religion. I see here writing. Writing, that's a great start for our writing and record keeping. And let's see what other ones we've missed. The last one was social classes. So we might need to dig in a little bit further into social classes. Now if you click the next button, it will take you to more information about Egypt. So it talks about life along the Nile. Again, some more of their inventions are here, talking about how they created papyrus. Physical location, talking about the pyramids. That could also be an invention. And if you keep going to the next one, so I just clicked the next button, it talks about Egyptian social structure. And here's a great picture. If you're really into drawing or you'd like to take a snapshot of this, you can use your snipping tool if you're on your K-12 computer. and if you go to your Start menu, click All Programs, go to your Accessories, and click Snipping Tool. This would be a great one to snip and add to your notes if you're doing them online, or you can draw it. So this gives you a great idea of who is at the top of the social classes and who is at the bottom of the social classes. So this should help you fill out your entire chart. Sorry about that. Again, these are notes, so if you want to keep reading and finding more information and add it to your chart, I would suggest using a Word document just so that you can add more space. But if you are more comfortable printing this and adding information, then please feel free to do that as well. Again, if you choose to type it or if you choose to write it out, make sure that either way it's printed and it's in your notebook, because we're going to be using this for the next 4 civilizations that we'll be taking a look at. If you guys have any questions, please ask your history teacher. Again, this will be something that we'll use next week. I also want to note that we have attached with the assignment, or in Edmodo today, not with the assignment, but just a help resource. So you did a map this week about the different rivers here and where they were located compared to some of these early civilizations. There's Egypt right there. And here's the filled in map for you to print and add to your notebook. So again, today your task is to complete this chart using the website that you were provided. If you have any questions, please ask your history teacher. Have a great day, guys.